A couple of weeks ago, the Schnooks had a sale on Red Baron pizza. And normally it's $6, and it was now for $3. And so the unfortunate part was there's only 3 days. You know, they had just 3 days to have this sale. And I took note that I wanted to do that, but then, you know how it is. One thing led to the other, and I missed out. And I was all kind of upset about it, I missed out. And then I told myself, come on, you would have only had 6 pizzas, and it's $3 that you lost, so you're crying about $18. No big deal. Just do that. You can afford it. On the other hand, there's other times that I missed out, and I can never take that back. I was thinking when I first joined as a seminarian, I was placed at Newton. And when I was there, that was the summer of John Paul II's trip to Toronto for World Youth Day. And when I was at Newton, they didn't have a high school youth group, and no one was planning on going to the National World Youth Day. And I thought, you have an opportunity to do something, because I just came from Washington, D.C., and I knew who it was that was planning all the festivities and coordinating everything, and she was my friend. And so maybe I could have an in and, get in there and be able to be up close and everything else, even at this late date. But I didn't. I didn't because I was just kind of too afraid to stand up and say something, and somewhat too lazy, because I know if I would have said something, then I would have had to do a whole bunch of different things. And so I did nothing, and I missed out. And I continued to wonder what it would have been like if I hadn't missed out. And so I swore to myself I wouldn't miss again. So when the National Eucharistic Congress came this last summer, I swore to myself I missed out on the Pope. I'm not going to miss out on this, and so I went. In the gospel reading, Bartimaeus is not going to miss out. He gets told that Jesus Christ is passing along his way. How else would he know but except he'd been told? Because he's blind. He didn't know who Jesus was or what he looked like. But when he is told, he immediately reacts, because if he had waited, he would have missed Jesus, he wouldn't know Jesus, he wouldn't run across the path of Jesus. So he immediately says, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. And he's the exact opposite of the other disciples in the past weeks that we've been reading. He is a perfect disciple, because a couple weeks ago, Jesus asked his disciples, who do people say that I am? He has to go out and ask them. And instead, this time, Bartimaeus is shouting out, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. He tells everybody who Jesus is. A couple of weeks ago, people were bringing children to Jesus that he might touch them. But the disciples rebuked them. And in turn, Jesus rebukes them, said, let the little children come to me. And then likewise, the people are rebuking Bartimaeus. Shut up, Bartimaeus. Be silent. And yet he continues on to shout out, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. And so Jesus says, call him. Whereas a few weeks ago, we had the man with many possessions. When Jesus calls him and says, be my disciple, follow me, he went away sad because he had too many possessions. Bartimaeus leaves behind his cloak. The cloak that in that time he would have slept on. That would have been his pillow. That's his bed for the night. That's his source of income, because he's a beggar. And so he'd be sitting by the road holding up his cloak for people to drop pennies and whatever else into. And so he gives it all up and goes to Jesus. And last week, Jesus asked James and John, what do you want me to do for you? And they immediately say, let me sit on your right and on your left. Bartimaeus says, I want to see. And he receives his sight, and then he follows Jesus after that. He had his one and only shot, and he took complete advantage of it to receive his sight once again, to be his follower, to follow Jesus for the first time. And really, what about us? You know, Jesus Christ comes to us each and every moment of the day. Maybe it's when we are called to share his word with a neighbor who asks us something about theology, or even just, why is this happening? Give me a reason for why the world is the way it is. Are we able to take advantage of that opportunity? Maybe it's being a generous or helping out another. I always remember that whenever I miss out on seeing a sick person, that always haunts me. I could have done something but didn't. And now the opportunity is gone. And finally, to practice virtue or avoid sin. Each and every day we have that opportunity. Jesus Christ comes to us not only in this Eucharist, but each and every moment of our day. And are we going to be blind to him as he passes by? And once we are blind and we miss out, then we miss out forever. It's not like me when I missed out on buying some pizza. I can't take it back. If I miss out on responding to Jesus today, I miss out. May we all be like Bartimaeus, to have our eyes open to see Jesus' presence in our lives so that we can respond today and not miss out on the graces he wants to give to us.